up, y'all? Mecha Gorillion, also known as Mecha G, also known as Hutch, but that channel name was taken. I saw everybody doing these 100-day challenges, so I thought I'd give it a try. You know what I'm saying? So you already see what I'm doing. I'm taking the wood, putting it in there, making me some sticks and stuff like that, and then I'm taking it and making a freaking crafting table. As soon as I made a crafting table, I decided to make a freaking pickaxe. And we went and mined some freaking stone so that we can make another pickaxe, but made out of stone. And then we could also make a stone axe as well. And then we just threw it up in there and we got it started. You know what I'm saying? Got up inside of our boat that we made and we sailed off. Because I ain't trying to stick by this island because there ain't no houses, no villages, nothing around there or anything like that. So let's get to it. As soon as we got to the next place, we saw a freaking village. And I thought that was the place that we wanted to be. We decided to take a little detour on the side, you know what I'm saying? We saw a desert temple that was to our right. So we headed over like natural, but on the way I killed some sheep because, I'm trying to make a bed and nigga trying to sleep and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we got to the desert temple though, we headed on up and headed inside. And it was pretty smooth, we ain't faced no problems or nothing like that or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I thought a creeper was gonna come out. I saw them statues. This not my first time playing Minecraft, but I done seen some crazier stuff, you know what I'm saying? These chests ain't really have nothing. They had about 3 books in it. And one of them was water protection. I still don't even know what that is. But yeah, we ended up building out, and as soon as we got out, we headed towards the village. And whenever we got to the village, we saw it was abandoned, but they still had some hay bales and stuff, so we ended up taking those and stuff. I guess they were something, They, you can make a lot of bread with these, you know what I'm saying? And then we got in our boat and we took off, you know what I'm saying? As soon as we got in our boat, we took off. We ended up hitting up another village. And this village was the same as the first one, except it wasn't abandoned. It had people, except it had some crappy stuff inside of the chest. So we ended up taking all the freaking hay bales and stuff like that. And then we crafted a whole bunch of bread. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, this part really made me freaking mad because we made all this bread and we went to a villager to trade because we thought it was, 6 pieces of bread for an emerald. No, it was 1 emerald for 6 pieces of bread. I do feel like an idiot right now. Why you looking at me like that? All right, so then we got in our boat and we traveled on down and we found a little cave system and stuff. We decided to go in, get some materials and stuff, got some iron, and made sure that we were set, pretty much. We were just going through and just collecting as much raw material as possible for the rest of this playthrough. We found a bunch of iron, bunch of ores and stuff like that. And yeah, it was just generally what you naturally do in Minecraft. So it was a good time and, it's so dumb. But anyways, I ended up building up because the character that I have is an avian and they can't sleep at low surfaces or anything. They can't sleep at ground level, so you got to build up before you can sleep. But I didn't even remember that I had freaking wool to build a bed with wood and stuff. So pretty much we just watched the sunset. But take this time please and like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate that, y'all. That would be great. Thank you. Isn't that just calming? All right, so we took some of the diamonds that we got from that freaking chest in the little freaking, I forgot what it's called, desert temple, and we made a pickaxe and we threw out our stone one because we don't need that crap anymore. And we got a freaking iron axe as well, and we ended up checking some of those enchantments. Anyways, I traveled for the next few days and I found the area that I wanted to build in. The area, the part that was in the sky, that thing, I thought it was awesome. It looked like a little bird, so why not use it to build? We ended up making a bed after we chopped down a whole bunch of wood and stuff, and all that wood's going to be used later on. Trust me, I don't like birch. We're going to use it in order to freaking make charcoal. I couldn't sleep at the height that I was at, but once I moved up, I was able to sleep. You get what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? I'm an avian. I need that. Next day, I just fully worked on my base, just building it up and just taking all the pieces and making what I could in order to be able to actually have a livable quarters. Now, I made stairs and everything, and I went through and put everything where I wanted it. so that in the future we won't have any problems whenever it comes to actually having what we need where we need it and stuff like that. This base is going to take a lot of work just because I'm going to have to move around a lot of things and stuff like that. I also put a whole bunch of wood there on the sides of the house, if you notice. But at the end of the day, I'm going to end up moving all that stuff anyways and turning it in glass just because the glass looks better. I made a bunch of stairs to put down there, and obviously, as you can see, I made a few mistakes, and also I didn't have enough. So we ended up building a whole bunch more, taking them, putting them inside of the house, and then we got some sand, like I said. We cut out all the wood and we put glass everywhere. And then the next day, I decided to go inside of a cave system. And whenever I went in there, obviously give some spiders a clapping in and stuff like that. And we saw a whole bunch of neat stuff. I mean, this environment was just cool, man. I mean, I don't have the dungeons update, but even still with Young's API and stuff like that, I was still able to, see some cool stuff. I found diamonds. I went and found another portal that was broken down and stuff. Got shot by a skeleton. That wasn't fun. So then I saw that there was another skeleton, let them shoot each other, and then I came down and gave the last one a clapping. I got some more gold and just mined that up. Found another area with lava and also with diamonds, to actually note. Went down to get these freaking diamonds, and whenever I went down to get the diamonds, I actually hacked at them for a little bit. They broke and everything, and they fell straight into lava. So that's never a good feeling whenever you actually play this game. Remember, I am a first timer, so I am learning. But one thing that I did do, I watched a lot of videos by SBP737, I think his name is. I think that's how you say it. It's not 373, is it? But he said if you dig 4 blocks to the north, and I thought it was 4 blocks down, then you'll find diamonds. Because this time I did find diamonds, but I'm thinking it's more around the like 8 range or something like that. Because most of the other times whenever I actually dug, I found out you have to dig all the way down like 8 blocks in order to be able to get the diamonds that you wanted. But here I'm making a diamond axe, and that's going to be put into good use. There are a lot of monsters that are in this area and stuff like that. I also decided to make a few doors because I found a watered in area, and I knew that doors, from what SB showed me, would negate the effect of water damage and stuff like that. So I'd be able to put a door down and I'd be able to breathe and stuff like that, especially on, and I was going to say especially on top of bedrock. I'm so stupid. But on top of bedrock, it made it a lot easier because there were a lot of flat surfaces. I didn't think I'd reach that low, but I guess that's where most of the diamonds were, especially that I found inside of this area. I ended up getting out of that little water area and headed over so that I could actually mine some obsidian. I needed tons of freaking obsidian, and I think I ended up getting 16 blocks from this before I ended up leaving. And after that, I went back into the water to see if I could find any more diamonds. And if I couldn't, then I was just going to leave and just check around to make sure that I didn't miss anything along the way. But I put down a door so that I could breathe and stuff like that, just so that I could make sure that I always had that respiration going and stuff like that. But I did end up finding diamonds while I was down there, hopped down and ended up mining those diamonds so that we can make sure that we're as OP as possible. I tried this on the hardcore. This is not a game that you can just jump straight into hardcore on. I found that out the hard way, and a lot of kids laughed at me about it, especially my nephew David. He made sure that I knew how trash I was. I ended up getting out of the ravine or cave system that was located at the bottom, and I was relatively close to my home. After that, I went up to my farm that I built, and I just literally just took down all the freaking crops that I made. And the reason being is because as an avian who floats down slowly whenever it comes to certain surfaces and coming down and stuff, unless I hold shift, the only thing that I'm able to actually eat is bread or other fruits and stuff like that. And other fruits aren't as easy to grow as wheat, which I can easily turn into bread and use, etc., etc. I took the bones that I made and turned it into bone meal so that I could take that and throw it into my plants as well and make them grow as fast as possible. Collect those things. And as soon as I started growing more wheat, I was able to turn that into hay bales and stuff like that. So you can see here, growing up some of my crops, turning it into wheat and stuff automatically, and then replanting it as wheat at the end of the day, because at the end of the day it's a recyclic type of food. I went down and I saw a wandering trader whenever I came from my house one time. He really didn't have anything specific that I needed, so I was just like, dude, this is crappy. So as a reward, he kind of gave me both of his leashes to make sure that I returned as a happy customer whenever he came back again. I didn't stay or try to look for him after he gave it to me, because, you know, he had his invisibility potion. So I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm out of here. And I took those both I took both of those leashes and I made sure to hurry straight back home. I went straight to the crafting table and I made myself a shovel. After I made myself a shovel, I knew I had to go down and get a whole bunch of dirt, because with this dirt, I'd be using it in order for my next build. The next build is going to be a part of my actual tree farm that I'm going to be making. I nearly forgot what it was. I'm going to be building a tree farm, a small one, just so I could plant like as many trees as I can. Hopefully I can get them real big to get as much wood as possible, but you know, in all reality, it is Minecraft. Sometimes you get the trees that look like bushes and stuff like that. And after I built my tree farm, this is what it looked like. Boom, quick look. After I built my tree farm, I decided to take a whole bunch of cobblestone and take it and put it around my tree farm so that it's blocked out around the edges. So it's just not a whole bunch of dirt floating in the sky. It actually looks like it's part of it. Although at the end of the day, whenever I did look at it from the bottom, it still literally looked like a whole bunch of dirt from the bottom, which I'm not going to fill that in. My next build was a sugarcane farm. This sugarcane farm is going to be pretty simple. It's just going to be a couple of rows built with water in between, just to make sure that they're actually growing in between the sand that's going to be put up on there. As you can see, I had a few difficulties because my dumb behind decided to put in a whole bunch of dirt and stuff. So after going and getting some more wood and stuff, I started putting my planks around. The planks were pretty easy to fill out, except at the same time they were hard. Whenever it's building these, you got to hold shift to make sure you crouch down, and I didn't realize that until way later. So there are parts that I cut out where I am actually falling off of it while I'm trying to build it at the same time. I made sure to put in all the logs and fill in all the spaces and everything, and then I started filling in my sand. The sand was way easier to fill out, but I forgot that I needed an opening for the water and the extra wood that would go on the end. The extra end would be filled out with extra wood in order to keep the sides built up so that the water would stay in and not drip over the edge. I didn't want any monsters climbing over. After that, I filled in the front of the bird monster to make sure that it looked appropriate so that it's equal on all sides. I want even wings, even tail spans, and even head on the front of it. So there's still going to be more that's built at the end of the day, but I spanned it out and made sure that the wings were actually like massive and filled in on both sides. I ended up going to sleep and continuing to build. On this side, I ended up building a place for my cows that I was going to end up grabbing and putting up here. I put a whole bunch of stone blocks and stuff like that just to make sure that I filled out the outside. The other side, I was going to use it for sheep so that I get a bunch of wool. The other side for the cows was going to be used for leather in order to make sure that I was fully good on both of those materials. I worked a little bit through the night, and then I decided to go to sleep for a little bit, and then I went back out and did it again because I didn't want to worry about mob spawning while I was doing it. After that, I went and broke down a bunch of dirt and stuff so I could fill it in and make it look as good as possible. After I grabbed all the dirt that was down there, I definitely made sure whenever I built it that I put a whole bunch of torches and stuff down to make sure that extra mobs weren't spawning on top of my area. As you can see, this is a very long process, but at the end of the day, we ended up finishing what we needed to do. We got our cows in there, and at the bottom of my house, I actually built an enchanting area. So you can see I put the wood paneling, and I also put the stone, and I built my little ladder going down to it and everything like that. So it looked great. I took one of my last diamonds and I was like, I'm building an enchanting table, and obviously you can see I didn't have the other diamond that was necessary to build it. So I went back inside of my house and I don't know what I was doing really. I was just trying to break down my shovel in order to build with it by using the other diamond, seeing if my blast furnace will break it apart, but obviously it didn't work. I built an anvil and put it inside of my house so that I could add enchantments to all of my weapons and stuff like that. I didn't know what water protection was, so I ended up taking my other books, which included blast protection and then sharpness. I added the blast protection 4 to my helmet, and then I took the sharpness book and I added it to my axe. I mean, it didn't really help really. I mean, I noticed the difference whenever I was killing cows, as in cows were like a one shot with it on there, but as far as everything else, I mean, it was pretty much the same. It was like a 2-shot or more, so it really didn't matter. I ended up chopping down a bunch of wood, and this wood would eventually be used so that I could actually make a boat, because at this point it was time to travel. I was long overdue for some exploration. It was time to get out on the water and actually do something different from just building. I found an area that was full of sugarcane and my game crashed for a second, but then it came back after I reloaded it. I chopped down as much sugarcane as I could inside of the area. Again, this was nighttime, you have to remember, so there were tons of spiders and other creatures walking about the midst of the night. I also saw this dolphin. He was just flapping about on land. I went over to grab some more sugarcane and saw this real cool turtle, and I looked over and saw this dolphin just doing his same old thing. I don't know if he died or jumped into a hole, but hey, that's up to him. It had nothing to do with me. There was nothing I could do. There's a cool turtle, I said. There was nothing that I could do on my end. There was a creeper coming after me. I ended up obviously, taking him down, getting the muscle points and stuff like that. It's all good. And then I swam around, grabbed as much more sugar cane as I could find, killed a spider, gave him the boom, bam, pow, took him out, grabbed more sugar cane. And after I grabbed more of that good old sugar cane, I found a ravine and decided to hop in. So you guys already know how this playthrough goes. I don't know, it's a lot different whenever you're actually doing the playthrough, whenever you can actually jump down slowly and stuff like that. I don't know if it's different for you, but I felt more confident whenever I was going to ravines and caves and stuff. Like with just that attribute alone, it just made me so brave to go into caves, because usually I wouldn't go into them, especially on like hardcore. I found myself another one of those netherrack portals or whatever it was. I'm thinking I might end up using one of those in order to go for the nether. I found some diamonds while I was inside of this cave, and yeah, it took me a while to mine these diamonds, but yeah, you can see that while I'm playing through, I'm going real slow. By the way, that netherrack portal, that was foreshadowing. That's exactly what that was, because you guys are going to see here in a bit whenever I get to actually making my own portal as to why I have to use a portal made by something else originally in Minecraft in order just to get to the nether, which we're not going to go to the nether in this episode. It might be another episode. I think it's going to be the next episode. But the main thing for this series, I want you guys to know that if you have any tips or anything like that, please definitely let me know, because I need them desperately, my friends. I need them desperately, 100%, because this game is literally destroying me right now. I've been getting killed by so many different things, and the fact that I'm playing on easy mode and I've been able to survive this far, it's a surprise to me. But anyways, back to the video. I mined out a whole bunch of gold and iron and diamonds and other ores. Then I got out of there and I decided to end up getting back inside of my boat. The main thing with this was just making sure that I grabbed enough ores in order to sustain me for the next few days. I ended up finding another village, but this village really didn't have anything except for wheat and stuff like that. I ended up taking their grinding stone so that any materials that I do have, I was trying to think of the word. It's hard thinking of words whenever you're recording your own voice. But I did find a sunken ship. It only had poisonous potatoes and suspicious soup or whatever. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Any materials that I do make that do have enchantments and stuff like that, If I get like the wrong enchantments and stuff, I'm just gonna take them off of there and just be able to do whatever I want. I found this one place that had mushrooms and I thought I'd check it out, and then found a ravine. So I, of course, just like every other time, jumped right in. Now, just like I said with SBP 737, I ended up finding, a vein of lapis and decided if I would see to look for diamonds, but of course it didn't have it just because it was covered in lava, and I'm not going to jump in lava to find out. Found an emerald after I knocked the skeleton down. Skeleton was still alive, so of course I had to go down and kill it just so I could continue on my quest. I found more lapis, so at this point I was literally just looking for diamonds. I don't think I found any inside of this one, but you'll see in my other one I find like a bunch of diamonds, and that just has me set from that point on. And I found another emerald along the way, and I decided to light up the area as I was going through because I couldn't really see anything, and I know that they do have diamonds in certain areas, like right here. Now, even though he said that you do find diamonds whenever you go down about 4 blocks, which I found out it's around 8. I don't know if he said 8. I don't want to say that he's wrong if I don't know for sure, but I was able to find 1 diamond. I mean, 1 diamond is way better than none. I'd rather take that than take no diamonds at all. So I went down and I took that last diamond from there. Didn't see any other ones, so I decided to get back up and get back out of there. And then I went up and found another deposit of lapis. Now with this deposit, I was like, there is no way I could be wrong on this one. I'm gonna dig down as far as I need to in order to find diamonds on this one. So I dug down, found a bunch of iron, and then I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna give up. Let me keep digging. And guess what? I found more diamonds, and not just 1 diamond this time, mind you. I found a ton of diamonds. Okay, they just kept coming. Look at that. Can you dispute it at this point? The man SBP is a genius. He's a genius whenever it comes to, look at how excited my character is. But after I did that, I ended up blocking my way out. There's something above me. I ended up taking it out and then just blocking my way all the way out. And then I went all the way back home, made myself a pair of pants, made myself a chest plate, anything that I needed that was left in order to make my full piece of armor. Because at that point, I was set and it was ready to go. I retired my old armor, and then I ended up taking my freaking new armor and putting it on. I look great. And put away my old ones. I also found a new chicken, which I ended up taking up and putting in the cow farm. And then as I turned around, I realized, where's my other chicken at? And that's when I freaked out. And then I decided to put down some hay bales for the cows that were still in there. I was like, I mean, they gotta eat too, you know what I'm saying? And I put some inside of the sheep farm as well, because they gotta eat too, you know what I'm saying? Took the rest of that sugar cane that I had that was extra and made paper, and I realized I needed some leather, so I went out and killed some horses for some leather. Whenever I killed those horses, I took that leather and made me some books, and I was able to make 8 books. Now, I don't know what mod I was playing that told me I only needed a few freaking leather for freaking bookcases, or books for bookcases, like 1 book, but I was wrong. Either way, I took my freaking name tag and I used it on my new chicken, and I named him Chickpea, because just like Paul GG said, you can't have your first chicken and name him anything else but Chickpea. I mean, it only sounds right. I was so excited I was jumping up and down, decided to go to sleep. The next day, I ended up going down because I wanted to build a rail system, but it kept messing up. So obviously I didn't understand how this worked at all. Anyways, I gave up on it and I decided to build an enchantment table, went down and I placed it right by my 2 bookshelves. Oh yeah, your boy's moving up in the world. The next day I decided to go to a cave system behind my house, and I found diamonds immediately as soon as I went into the water. As soon as I went down to the bottom, I was able to find diamonds, and boy, they look good right about now. Especially because I just built my armor, and you know you want everything looking the same. Found even more along the backside of the wall in the cave. I mean, can you really call it the backside if you're in a cave? I don't know. I'll let you decide that one. But either way, we found tons of diamonds, and I mean, it felt good. Honestly, we were moving around at a moderate pace. I don't even think it's like day 15 or 20 yet, and we've already like been decked out in diamond gear. So I can't be happier with that. It was just a successful and happy situation. So I'm plenty cool with it. As long as we're getting everything that we need, I mean, it really doesn't bother me at the end of the day. And then I made sure I took some of the iron too. So as I came out of that area, I went back into the main area of the cave and found some emeralds, found some lapis. Of course, every time that I find lapis now, I make sure to do my freaking equations to make sure that I'm going 4 across and about 8 deep in order to see if I find diamonds, because you never know where it's going to come from, and you never know if you're actually going to find diamonds. Like here, I thought I was already 4 across. I ended up having to go 5 across just to dig all the way down, and I found diamonds. Crazy, right? I mean, I'm finding them all over the place, and it never matters how many, because at the end of the day, like I said, 1 diamond is better than no diamonds. I'd rather have a diamond shovel than just a regular wooden one. So if we could build any equipment with it, I'm cool with it. Look at that. We found even more emeralds just running through the cave. 2 sets. So you can't be mad about that, you guys. I'm just saying, if you were in my shoes, you'd be pretty excited too. So we ended up digging our way out of the cave, and once we got out of there, we ended up killing a few more horses, got some more leather so that we could end up making more books. Look at that, 29 diamonds. Goodness, I don't even know what to do with that. Made a few more books. Of course, we took those books and made some bookshelves and added them to our library. All right. As soon as we finished that, we ended up going to our sugarcane farm, and this is the most satisfying thing about Minecraft: breaking sugarcane. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could hear it, but I have this dope music that's playing right now. I'm gonna make sure that I'll link the artist inside of my description and make sure that you guys know where this music is coming from, because man, these tunes are jamming. And I literally listen to them all the time. I actually mute my freaking Minecraft videos just so I can actually hear the music. I went across the water and I decided to find some lava. I wanted to find more lava so I can make more freaking lava buckets, so whenever I pour them into a hole, I can make more obsidian. The problem that I was facing was that whenever I built my nether portal to go into the nether, I actually wasn't able to go. It wouldn't light up. I don't know what was wrong with it or what I was doing wrong, so I just went to sleep on it. And I just honestly decided it wasn't worth my time. I ended up jumping down off my base, went down to grab some gravel, make some more flint and steel, just because the flint and steel that I had, it ended up breaking. Swam up. After I grabbed that flint and steel, after my first one broke, I ended up trying to light it again multiple times, and as you can see, I still can't light it. I didn't know what it was. I literally was sitting there like breaking down different parts of the stone, see if that's what it was, and putting obsidian in different places, moving it around. I changed the shape of my portal, and that still didn't work. I tried lighting it in different places, still didn't work. I even thought grabbing more obsidian will help. It didn't. I grabbed some more stone, and I decided at this point I needed to make a mob farm. This mob farm will be used for my enchanting room so that I could actually put some powerful enchants on my weapons. And it's coming along, I guess. I'm not an expert like SVP at this. I'm not. I promise you I'm not. Paul, GG, and SVP, you guys got it. Like, you're perfect. I went to sleep, took a rest, and sure enough, the next day, I was literally feeding my cows. After I fed my cows, I made sure to feed my sheep and stuff like that too, because at the end of the day, everybody gotta eat just like me, you know what I'm saying? And then I went down, gave some zombies the clapping that kept making noises underneath my base. And from that point, it was time to make myself a little farm of freaking stone and stuff, but it didn't move as fast. But one highlight, I did fix my railway system that would go straight up to my base. It went pretty slow. I could have probably ran up there in the same amount of time, but at the same time, I mean, it didn't really take that long, and it was a pretty good feature to put on there, especially with what was going to be coming as far as mobs and stuff next. I made sure to dye my sheep red because red is one of my favorite colors besides green, and I also dye my bed red. And then today was the day that I go in and kill a bunch of cows for leather. You know why we need leather? We need more books. I left Mama Cow with a few of her calves, and I said, don't you look at me like that. But I said, don't look at me like that. Hey, it is what it is. It's Minecraft. I had to kill a few of them in order to get a few. You know what I'm saying? So I made a few books, bookshelves, in order to be able to add to my enchanting room. And hey, that's what you got to do to get ahead in life. You know what I'm saying? And I added those bookshelves to my freaking enchanting area. After I added them, I decided to enchant my pickaxe, but I realized it had enchants on it already, so I took them off. And I didn't add anything. I ended up going outside and I found these little things right here. Yeah, I made them kill each other, and then I killed the last one that was standing, just to assert my dominance. You know, hitting himself with an arrow. What a loser. Grabbed myself another cow because earlier in the day, I accidentally killed more cows than was necessary, so I wanted to get another father cow up there in order to make sure that they had more babies. I killed the other cows. Don't be mad at me, you guys. And yes, I fed the baby calf. And then my sheep that I turned red. I was gonna say yellow. I don't know why. I also fed them as well, and made sure that everybody got enough nourishment so that I could have enough sheep for my next plan. And then I took some of my blue dye and I turned some of them blue. So now we got a bunch of blood and crypt cows or sheep running around doing whatever they want. And that's fine by me as long as everyone's getting along. I made myself another chest, put it in my house, made myself some more books. Took those books, made myself another bookshelf, and of course I went straight down excitedly and added it to my bookshelf kingdom. And then I started working on my mob farm. I don't know why, but for some reason I just AFK'd in this region right here. I have no idea why. I just sat here and just AFK'd. I sped up time, but yeah, I don't know how I didn't die or why I was just sitting here. I think I got a call or something. I forgot to pause it. It was pretty cool either way. After that, I ended up getting on my freaking own 2 feet because I was too lazy to make a boat and just went out to a desert area. And I found a well. I went straight into it and chopped my way down with my pickaxe, and I ended up getting into a giant cave system. Of course, as you know, I jumped straight down like an idiot. That's just how I am, though. I'm just built different, I guess. After I got inside of there, I started trying to use the lapis trick, which it actually worked. It's crazy. I really think it's 8 blocks down. It's somewhere of the range of like 4 blocks to 8 blocks. I feel like actually it's like in between there because I feel like there would have been more diamond blocks if I had actually, you know, if it actually had blocks there, but since it didn't because it was making the cave and generated that way, it only had the 2 blocks of diamonds. But I found obviously more diamond blocks across the cave. I ended up making a ton of buckets and stuff like that and freaking took some water for myself, but I also made a few doors. Why can't I English today? And I went down and started mining more diamonds inside of the water areas inside of the cave. I was making sure to be real careful. As long as you don't have that respiration helmet or any respiration put on your helmet, your bubbles for oxygen go very, very fast. When I came out, I found this desert tunnel with the railway system. I forgot what you call it, but yeah, I literally ran through this thing all day, and all I literally found was a name tag and a golden apple. I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but like, it was actually kind of disappointing for me because I thought it would be more like a desert temple Like it would have all types of like awesome stuff, but it really didn't have anything except the railway systems. So after that, I ended up leaving, and yeah, these two skeletons were fighting, mainly because I made them fight. But they were fighting, and of course, I waited until one of them was the victor. And after one of them was the victor, I ended up fighting the other one. You know, I mean, easy bones. And you know, with bones, we can make more trees. With more trees, we can make more wood. I ended up mining a few of these freaking other ores and stuff like that, such as gold and iron. Watch more skeletons clap each other. But I want you to watch real close. Look at what this one skeleton does to me. He literally, as I swing, he like jumps around the other side. He literally 360 no scoped me. I nearly died right here. I literally nearly died right here. It was the scariest experience because I was like, I don't want to have to run back to get all my stuff, especially with how far I am from base, which at the time I didn't even realize how far I was. But I ate some bread, I recovered, and then I made sure that I, cobblestone my way out. And whenever I cobblestone my way out, I make sure I go as high as possible to make sure that any mobs that spawn, they don't spawn near me. I found a desert temple because, of course, instead of going home, I decided to go to a desert temple, break the low pressure plate in the middle. Then I check all the chests, found a little bit of iron, some string, found another book, and then I grabbed some gold and some more iron from another chest as well. And then after that, it was time to go home. After I ended up going on my way to go home, I ended up killing 2 horses and a cow. The reason being is because I need tons of books in order to finish these enchantment shelves. Got home, went to sleep. The next day was spent pretty much just reorganizing my chests and just making sure that everything was where it was supposed to be. I had a real hard time doing this. I don't know why. Certain things I consider treasures and certain things I don't consider as treasures. I added those books into bookshelves and then took those bookshelves and I placed them inside of my little room downstairs, which I think I'm going to have to fix because it always gives me level 1 enchantments. I ended up going to my tree farm after I cut down those trees for the bookshelves and I put down more trees. These ones are supposed to be much bigger, so it felt good just making sure that I had more bookshelves. After that, I decided to feed my sheep because I turned a few of them white because I wanted some pink sheep and I also wanted some light blue sheep. I didn't know if it would actually do it, but it actually did. And they looked amazing. And then one thing that I actually did that was even more amazing, after I fed a red sheep and a blue sheep and made purple sheep, and oh my god, they were the most gorgeous creatures I've ever seen in my freaking life. Now don't get me wrong, I'm a thug, but oh my gosh, these sheep were so cute. I fed my cows too, you know what I'm saying, but those sheep just made this whole video worth it, and I'm so glad about it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and yeah, I hope you guys stick around, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and yeah, you can see everything that I built here. Hope you guys stay for longer, and yeah, bye.